Yeah, so we saw that, I mean, inside this container, if it is mixed with water, how this reaction will take place. Now, in terms of equations, or how we are going to write this instead of drawing this diagram, so that we'll see that suppose we have this water molecule, right? So this water molecule has already reacted with, or the water actually had the hydrochloric acid. So that has actually given us this H3O plus, as we have already seen right here. So from this step onwards, what happens here is that this hydronium ion reacts with chlorine negative ion, which has again these lone pairs, right? And it has a negative charge as well. That reacts with NaOH. Now, how that NaOH behaves, it is again, I mean, it has broken into Na plus ion, and there is a OH negative ion. So it is like this, OH, and this O has now these extra lone pairs, due to which there is a negative charge on this. So OH has a negative charge and Na has a positive charge. So the total ionic reaction is actually like this. These two, that is chlorine and Na, as we said, these are leftovers, or you can also say that they are spectator ions. The real reaction is happening between these two, that is hydronium and OH. So if you see this, this actually makes it 2H2O. So there is an H2O here, and then this H and this OH can form another H2O. So what we get in the product side is 2H OH. This bond is not at 90 degree. We are just right now writing it like that. Okay, and there are two electron pairs or lone pairs, and then you have Na plus from the NaOH and Cl negative from the HCl side. Okay, now these two will now react, and this will give you NaCl. So that is the total ionic reaction which we can say. Now what we are going to learn here is the transfer of electrons and how to represent it. So that is represented as the curved arrow, right? That is called curved arrows representation. And what does it represent? It represents transfer of electrons, right? So this is not a straight arrow. This is a straight arrow. Curved arrow we use, and it will be given like this. And this is to show transfer of electron. Okay, so this is to show transfer of electron. So that means there is this particular thing. This is site of, say, high electron density, where there is more electrons, and this is site of electron deficiency. So we can say this is electron deficient site. So electron will always move from site of high electron density to that of low electron density, and that's how we are going to represent all these reactions. So that is, this representation is a must. If we understand this, then only we can correctly write the reaction mechanisms, and even we can see that this will be useful in understanding even the resonance. So for example, say H3O, which looks like this. which has just one lone pair. One lone pair is given to this H. So there is a positive charge developed here. Clear? So now in this itself, H has taken O negative from this, sorry, a lone pair of electron from this oxygen. So oxygen is a deficient electron, deficient area, right? And on the other hand, the second reactant is this, that is OH negative. This OH negative is actually formed by leaving something from here, right? So that has actually given its electron to this. So that's why there is a negative charge on this side. Okay, now electron, this transfer, the curved thing, this can be your ion or atom from where it starts, and this can also be the bond, that is your covalent bond. So a bond has two electrons. A covalent bond will have two electrons, which is shared between these two entities. So this electron can actually move from this shared, I mean, from the bonded electrons to the uh, one of the participants in the bond, right? So how do we show this here? We show it like this, that in these two, right, how this gives us water and water, right? This two things will react and this will give us water. This is acid and this is base. Why? Because this has a proton, and after reaction this proton will be given to this OH negative. So that's why this is acid and this is base. Now what happens? We have to show the electron transfer. How are we going to show this? So electron will be transferred from this bond. It will not be transferred from hydrogen. Hydrogen has no extra electron. So, and this O is electron deficient. That's why there is a positive charge there. So it will take an electron from any of these bonds. So here we are going to show the electron transfer as this. So you can see here it starts from the bond. Okay, so electron pair will move from here, from the bond to the oxygen. But here in the second case, now here what happens? Now this H, when if this will happen, H will lose its shared electron. So what will happen? Now there you can see there is a lot of electrons here. So now that will come to rescue. So this electron will be transferred from here to H. That's how we show the transfer of electrons. Okay, don't just don't just start this arrow from any point, that just from this. It will start from the lone pair, that is electron rich area, and it will end at H, which is electron deficient site. So now what will happen then? This will give us the product, that is HO H plus the second one is HO H. Again, this doesn't mean that this is 90° and this is 180°. This is just to show you that these two are two different water molecules. Right? Same way, we will see more examples in our later chapters, and we'll see one here itself. That is, suppose we have an acid, a carboxylic acid, say for example CH3 COH double bond O. So what all do we know about the lone pairs? So the lone pairs here are on this oxygen of OH. There are two lone pairs, right? and then on the oxygen which is forming a double bond, there are 2 lone pairs there as well. And this acid, when this acid reacts with, again say, a base that is water, so this water molecule will have 2 lone pairs at O. So there is no charge here, but there is an electron rich region and electron deficient region, and there is also something else, that is this part. This part I can write it like this: C double bond O, it can be written as C double bond O, and this O has a single bond with H, and here we have CH3. Okay, so now this O has 2 pairs of or 2 lone pairs, and this oxygen also has 2 lone pairs. Now what actually happens here is that, again, among oxygen and hydrogen, oxygen is more electronegative, that it has tendency to pull electron, and there is a bond, there is a shared electron here. So what will happen now? This will pull that electron towards itself. Who? This oxygen. And that helps us in breaking the bond. So now the electron will transfer from the bond to the oxygen atom. And now if that will happen, H will not, this H will have no more oxygen. So someone who has capacity to donate oxygen, or someone which has oxygen which can actually share its electron with this hydrogen, will be able to do that, and that we see here. So now what happens is this O, H and H, here you have electrons. So now this electron is transferred from here to here. When we say transferred to, it will be to the atom, and transferred from, maybe from an ion atom or a bond. So based on this, what will we get now? We'll get the same thing, that is C double bond O as it is. There won't be any change, and there won't be any change on this section as well. But on this section, as you can see here, the bond has been, the electrons has been taken, the shared electrons has been taken by one of the oxygens. So what we will get here is that oxygen will have all the 3 lone pairs and a negative charge, obviously because it has an extra electron. And plus, what will be left here? This H plus will go with this oxygen, and this will give us again a hydronium ion. So that's how this acid-base reaction happens. And as we can see here, this was in water. This acid, same way, same acetic acid will also react with a base, not just water, that is OH negative. So only thing is that this H, the H which you can see here in down, that won't be there. Otherwise, everything will be same. Right here, what we see is a hydronium ion. There will, if it is just a base, so even, there it will be water. Okay, now next topic is Lewis acids and bases. So it is a broader definition of acids and bases. So the scientist actually proposed a theory that significantly broadened the understanding of acids and bases. So it is not limited only to H plus and OH negative transfers, right? So we find that understanding of this theory, that is Lewis acid base theory, is exceedingly helpful to you can say understanding a variety of organic reactions. Okay, now what are acids and bases here? You can see above, acids gave H plus, that is a proton. So it acids actually suffered loss of positive charge. It gave proton, so it lost positive charge. So nothing loses positive charge. How do you lose positive charge? By gaining some electron, right? So here acids are, previously it was proton donor. So here it will be electron pair acceptors. Same way, what is base? It will be opposite of that. That is electron pair donors. So those who has the capacity to donate an electron pair, they are bases, and those who don't but have capacity to accept an electron pair, they'll be called acids, Lewis acid. So this eliminates the requirement of H, that is hydrogen, in an acid. And a compound without hydrogen or OH, that is without hydride ion and without hydroxide ion also, a compound can be acid or bases. For example, suppose we have HCl. We know that HCl is a acid. Suppose that is there, and plus I have ammonia. Now ammonia doesn't loses H plus, or what will happen here is, if you take these two, there will be, you can say, a competition between these two, that who can lose H plus easily. So it is this HCl which will be able to lose that easily, and it will lose H plus. So it will actually give a proton, and that proton will be taken by this. Now if that happens, this electron will also be donated by NH3. So how this electron transfer happens? From NH3 to H, right? This happens, and at the same time, this electron pair which is shared here, this is also shared to or given to Cl. So after this, what exactly happens? There will be a Cl negative ion, obviously having all the 4 electrons, 4 unpaired electrons, and this NH3 has an extra bond with H. So this can be Cl negative plus NH4 negative. And this is important, that where is this plus charge? So nitrogen has lost the electron. So this plus charge will be actually on nitrogen. So this can also be written as Cl negative plus Cl negative plus NH4, that is NH3 was already positive and added H, right? So this is actually your NH4 with nitrogen having a plus charge. That is Lewis acid and Lewis base. So this donated electron, so electron donor is base and electron acceptor is acid. Now that is the definition for Lewis acid and Lewis base. Now it doesn't mean that concept of conjugate acid and conjugate base is not applicable here. So here also that is applicable. So that was about the reagents, that is acids and bases and how they react. Next we have another component here of organic reactions, and that is heterolysis. Heterolysis of bonds. So what does it mean? Hetero means different or uneven. Right, and lysis means breakage. So it is uneven breakage of bonds of carbon in the compounds. What does that mean? Suppose you have a carbon here, which may be forming 3 different bonds, and another bond with some Z, which is having some positive or some negative charge. Suppose the one which is connected or which is there, for example here Z, that has a negative charge. Now what happens in heterolysis is that this will break. The bond will break. Which bond? This bond. Why this bond will break? Because there is a charge separation there. One is positive and another is negative. So now what happens is this carbon is like this, and right after cleavage this, and obviously there will be a, because the shared pair of electron here has moved from here to here. So shared heterolysis will show this, and obviously plus the salt which is removed, that is Z negative. That is heterolysis. Now because this carbon has lost electron, you can see that there was a bond, and from that bond it has the bond, the electron has moved to Z. So now that bond does not exist, and the electron which carbon and Z were sharing, even that electron is given to Z. So that means there is a positive charge. So there is a positive charge on C plus. And whenever such thing happens, we name them as carbocation. So where is the positive charge? Positive charge is on C. And that's how it is called a carbocation, because it has two platform. I mean, there are two possibilities whether it will get a positive charge or a negative charge, and if it is getting a positive charge, we say that that is a carbocation. So what happens here is, as you can see here, that it has lost its electron. So there is a slight development of positive charge on this. Next will be just opposite of this, that is the carbon, and say for example this Z, which is now having a slightly positive charge. Okay, so now after heterolysis, what happens is again simple. Now Z plus is still there, but now this is less electronegative. Here, this was attracting electron cloud because it was more electronegative. So the from low density of electron to higher density, or from low uh, electron negativity to higher. So it will, the higher electronegative element will take out or will pull the electron cloud towards itself. So due to this, what will happen, and we have to show using arrow notations as well. So the electrons which are shared here, they are taken by C. And what do we get here now? Here we will get again a carbon compound with an extra pair of electron. So due to that, there will be a negative charge developed there. And this is your salt molecules ion. Now again, we got two things, and this, which is in the red here on the left hand side, that is called carbanion. So these two are two different and important reaction intermediates, right? These are carbocations and carboanions. Carbocations are electron deficient. As you can see, there is a positive charge. Carbanions are electron rich. As you can see, there is a negative charge. So that's how we find the, or that's how we understand the heterolysis concepts of bonds of carbon. Okay, there are again, now this was one, you can say, classification of your substrate. Now we will see classification based on something else, that is electrophile and nucleophiles. So again, this electrophile and nucleophiles will come in nucleophile. Again, this electrophile and nucleophile will come in our further reactions or further organic reactions. So it is better to know what is the concept behind this. Now, because carbocations are electron seeking reagents, if we see carbocations above, it is having a positive charge. So when it is, once it is formed, once a carbocation is formed, now what will it look for? Because it is a positively charged carbon, so it will look for some negative charge or negatively charged entities which can donate their electron to this site of positive charge. That means from where the electron is gone. Okay, so these electrophiles and nucleophiles are those two different types of reagents. Electrophiles are reagents that seek electron, philia, and phobia. So here both are philes. So electrophiles means those which want to go near to electrons, or they want electrons to come to them. That is love for electrons. So electrolytes are reagents that seek electrons. Okay, electrolytes will, electrophiles will seek electron, and nucleophile will seek positive sites, or they will actually try, or they will be trying to give out their own electrons. So electrophiles, which are loving electrons, they must be deficient in electron, and nucleophiles, which are nucleus loving, I can say, and nucleus is positively charged, that's why. So nucleophiles or nucleus loving, they love positive charge. That means they should be themselves negatively charged or having high density of electrons, right? So to summarize, electrophiles are reagents which seek electrons so as to achieve a stable shell of electrons like that of a noble gas. So obviously, if we see above, we have studied Lewis acid and Lewis base. In that we said the one which is electron donor, that is base. An electron donor will not love electron. So one which is electron acceptor, that is Lewis acid. So that means here in this case, I can say all Lewis acids are electrophiles, obviously. And just opposite of this is our nucleophile. That means carbon atoms that are electron poor because of bond polarity, but are not carbon carbocations. So they must be polar, bond must be polar, but they don't seek electron because there is already a lot of electrons there. Okay, they are called nucleophiles. Okay, so what we can say here is all Lewis acid, this or those who seek electron, or carbon atoms, electron poor carbon atoms. So if it is electron poor, it will try to attract electrons. So we'll have example of both, that is say Lewis acids. For example, if it is like this, so that means there is a positive charge. And suppose if there is a base, Lewis base will be shown like this, which has electron pair, lone pair, or a negative charge. That means there is more charge here. So again, how will I show the transfer of electrons? Like this. So due to this, what will be formed? There will be this CB. Now this is Lewis base and this is Lewis acids and this is carbocation. Right, and electron poor, even that is even for that we'll see an example. For example, if I have carbon double bond O, right? Now here what happens is this double bond means what? This double bond means it is highly, there is an electron cloud there. And that pi bond is on top of a sigma bond. So first a sigma bond is formed, then a pi bond is actually formed. And suppose when this will react with a Lewis base, if there is a Lewis base which has a negative charge. So this is our Lewis base. So now what will happen? This electron which is extra here, that will try to go to this carbon. This will try to move to this carbon. Why? Because now here there is this is a polar bond. Polar bond means there is polarity. There are two poles, positive and negative. So positive polarity or positive pole will try to attract how a pole will become polar or positive by giving its or by losing its electron. So here there is, it doesn't lose it completely. There is a poor transformation or poor transfer of electron, not complete transfer of electron. And that's why there will be a slightly positive charge developed here and slightly or partial negative charge developed here. Now, due to this, what we will get? We will get this B connected with C, right? And that has this, now there will be a single bond here because out of two bonds, one bond is being used. The electrons from one bond is given to this oxygen. So now oxygen will have 3 lone pairs, and that's why this oxygen will have a negative charge. And you can see on the reactant side and product side. On the reactant side, there is just 1 negative charge. On the product side also, there is just 1 negative charge. So the charge on the both sides should be charge on both the sides should be balanced. Okay, so now again, if this is base, this is Lewis acid, and as you have seen here, Lewis acid is a carbocation. So this is also a carbocation, and as you can see here, there is a partial positive charge developed here. Due to that, we can say that this is a carbocation. Now carbanions are just opposite of that. That means if we start from here, it will be all Lewis bases. They are nucleophiles. So a nucleophile is a Lewis base. Okay, and how do we show nucleophiles? We show them using Nu. Nucleophile, nucleus loving or positive charge loving. That means they themselves are having some lone pair of electrons or a negative charge. So this, when reacts with some thing like this thing has extra electron. So what it will try to do, it will try to donate or give its electron. Where? To here. Why it should come here? Because again here, as we have seen earlier, right? So this carbon gives its electron, or this bond will actually lose its electron because oxygen is more electronegative, and it will come here, and there will be a delta positive charge developed here, and delta negative will be developed here. So as you can see here, this will now attack this side because there is a positive charge developed there. Correct? So now what is this? This is base. This is Lewis base, and what it is doing, it is attacking the area where there is lack or deficiency of electron. So that's why this is called nucleophile. And if one is a nucleophile, obviously the other will be electrophile. It is actually the same reaction. So what happens, in summary, what happens is there is a positive charge and there is a nucleophile which has a negative charge. They combine to give this. So this is electrophile and this is nucleophile. They will combine to give us this structure finally. Okay, so that's about electrophiles and nucleophiles, and I think